A few months ago, I made a video about how UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell ruined his career by mentioning how Adolf Hitler was a great guy.
Because I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination. I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And his response to the whole situation had many people back on his bandwagon.
You're right to think that I'm dumb and say why. State why you think I'm dumb, and I love that. He's a real man. He's he's not afraid to state his opinions, and everybody's entitled to their own opinions. There should be no censorship. If somebody thinks I'm a total dumbass, then come on, call me out for it. If you don't agree with my views on history and politics, call me out on it. But don't censor me. Don't tell me, oh, you can't say this or that when I'm not producing speech that's violent, that's hateful. I'm just simply talking about how I view history.
You ever just let your balls hang out?
Well, he's definitely said some hateful stuff, but I agree with his points. As a Jew, I hate what he says, but I'll defend his right to say it. And in the build-up to this fight, he even decided to get religious with his opponent.
He says that he loves Jesus, but he calls himself Lord, and he doesn't act like he loves Jesus. He doesn't treat me with respect. Based off my interactions with him, he does not have Jesus in his heart because he treats me like total shit. If you love Jesus, then treat people with respect, and that's not what he does. Jesus' 2 commandments were to love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Does he treat me as he treats himself?
And I was actually quite surprised to see how many people were cheering for him at the press conference.
I put a lot of dogs down in my day.
Say what you want, but that was a cold response, said one fan. And the story leading up to this fight with Bryce being such a religious person is that he felt that a dark witch that John Silva sent was casting spells on him, sending beautiful women in his dream, forcing him to cheat on his wife, that he was barely getting any sleep, and the whole buildup was absolutely crazy to where you could see it leak through Bryce's performance in the fight. John Silva was basically playing with his food. He dropped Bryce in the second round, and then he went for the unalivement of Bryce, the ceremonial death of Bryce, in the second round with the Darce choke that ultimately really put the stamp on this crazy time of Bryce Mitchell's life because he lost. Had he won, I'm pretty sure he would have more fans than ever before. But John Silva just proved he is a perennial contender within the featherweight division because Bryce Mitchell's rank was 13 and he beat his first top 15 guy. I'm pretty sure he made Bryce believe that the earth was actually round rather than flat. And this fight almost didn't happen. Or it could have happened at a cost because John Silva almost missed weight. Thankfully, he was able to go back to the scales and make the required weight of 146 to 144 to be able to step in the octagon and fight at a fair advantage. But John Silva, I'm going to probably be the only person that says this about him. He is probably one of the most annoying human beings I've ever seen fight inside the octagon. His style is great. He's fun to watch. He is a great fighter. I'm not taking anything away from him skill-wise. But personality-wise, he just tries so freaking hard. It's annoying. Like when he stood up on the fence, put his arms around the back of the fence and was starting to bark like he was some sort of demon dog. Like, bro, we get it. Doing it one time, all right, that's fine, cool. Yeah, that's your thing. We get it. You're trying to be like DMX. We understand. We know your big-ass dome is the size of a Rottweiler, but still, you don't have to tell every single cameraman, hey, get this angle, hey, get this angle. There's 8 sides to an octagon. He went up on 8 sides of every part of the octagon and was standing on the cage and barking like, bro, chill, we get it. Again, I ain't trying to shit on him. I get that's his moment, but it's just a little cringy for my tasting. And as for Bryce Mitchell, this was exactly what I knew was going to happen because Bryce says some out-of-pocket stuff. If you agree with it, okay. Don't agree with it, okay. I'm not going to get into all that. But I knew they were going to give him a matchup that wasn't that favorable toward him. And for a lot of people, including a lot of betting people, Bryce was favored to win this fight. Many people thought Bryce would actually win this fight, whereas John went out there and dog-walked him, no pun intended. And the way Bryce was talking in the build-up to this fight, I knew he wasn't going to win. His head wasn't in the right mind space. Now, Bryce did let out a response shortly after the fight, basically just thanking everyone for the love and support that he's gotten.
Hey, I finally made it back to my room. I want to thank everybody for their support and let y'all know I'm doing just fine. Thank God he protected me. I didn't lose my teeth. I don't got no broken bones. So I feel good about that. And I fought as hard as I possibly could. I couldn't have fought any harder. I could have fought smarter. I'm gonna go make some adjustments, but I mean, he put me to sleep, so I had nothing left to give. So I'm happy about that, knowing that I tried my best. But I got to get better. So that's just the lesson learned here is I got to get better. And I really want to thank everybody who prayed for me, especially the people that fasted for me as well. Y'all mean the world to me. And I really cannot believe how much support I've gotten. It is literally unbelievable. I've got thousands of messages. And if I don't message you back immediately or at all, just know that I love you. And I've never had this much outpouring of support. It's just crazy. It's been a whole crazy week, and I can't even put it into words. I really thought that I was going to win the fight. I 100% believed it because I've just never had a fight that big before. And
One thing I realized about this fight is that people are crazy. You know, so many people believe Bryce. They're on his side. I like Bryce. Do I agree with what he said? No. Do I like what he said? No. But at the end of the day, I like him as a fighter, and I'm pretty sure his intentions are always pure and good, especially when it comes to religion. And John Silva, yeah, he's nice, and everyone swears he's the next Conor McGregor. Everyone swears he's next in line for Alexander Volkanovski. We need to pump the brakes on that just a little bit. In the end, I truly won't be surprised if Bryce Mitchell starts some crazy-ass cult within his MMA fans.